Hello, everybody. How the hell are you? Dr. Jeff Wellington here, world-famous bariatric surgeon, author of 13 books. Check out what I got for Christmas. How to survive a pandemic. Number 1, find your fam bam. Number 2, go on a road trip. That's us on our road trip. And number 3, repeat. That was us swimming and going boating down the Snake River in Wyoming. It was very, very cool. This is some nice rose green tea. If you're into green tea, check it out. Today, serious, I'm going to be scientific. We're going to talk about this new UK variant. I'm going to show you the change, the mutation, and really talk some science stuff. I'm also going to test myself because it's been 2 weeks. It's time for me to test myself. I feel fine. I have seasonal allergies. You never know. Somebody contacted me with my test kit and said that she's been having allergies for 2 weeks and tested herself and goes, "Is this a positive test?" And I was like, holy shit. Yes, that is a way positive test. Hold on, I got to turn on a light. All right, here we go. Got to get rid of the bags under the eyes. You know what I mean? It's been a hard year, man. Couple things real quick. Remember, 2020 doesn't actually end until April 1st because it's April Fool's Day 2021, right? Coronavirus is not done with us. Around April 1st, it will be about the start of the beginning of the end. The beginning of the end is April 1st, 2021, okay? So while we're waiting, let's say hello to some people. Nicole Hoover's bought some tests for me. I'm going to test myself today. What are you guys watching from? 350,000 tests. It's shocking. It's unbelievable. Hi from Akina. My videos are long, but I shorten them down. They're on YouTube. You can find them shorter. So fuck you, Frank. Go away. I'm just kidding, buddy. I love you. I don't even know you. I think more testing is always needed. What's up, Alabama? Where are you guys watching from? Luxembourg. Like the Smiths, that song by the Smiths. What's up, Joanne? How are you? Teresa Bundy. Oh, I saw Ecuador. I have never seen Ecuador. Where did you go? California. There we go. Martin from Ecuador. Awesome. Gene from South Africa. Internationally famous, I tell you. Bronx, New York City. Basically another country, Gloria. Diana. Bonjour. Oh, you tricked me. You're from California. Oh, man. Hey, Deborah, one of my best friends from college grew up in Niceville, Florida, believe it or not. There is a Niceville. All right. What's up? California, Lisa, Central Texas, Don Slade. If you're watching this on the replay, you can fast forward to about the 5-minute mark. What's up, Oklahoma City? John Dill, Shasta Lake, bought some test kits for me. What's up, brother? Hope you're doing good. Indiana is in the house. Alicia, Knoxville, Rita. All right. Valparaiso, Indiana. What is up? Aurora, Illinois, Wisconsin, doing good. Oh, hold on. Philippines. What's up, Alex? Go for the Philippines. Singapore's in the house. Look at that. British Columbia. What's up, Linda Van Dorn? It's on my list to go to there when it's all said and done. All right. Montreal, Quebec is in the house. Oop, Ireland. Darren from Ireland's in the house. Thank you, guys. I'm going to really try to minimize the cursing. I really am. Thank you guys for all the follows, for the shares, the follows, the like buttons. Appreciate it. I wish we didn't have to talk about this, but it's going to get bad. Okay. So, Ontario, all right, we got 1 more minute. Johannesburg, South Africa. Lee, what is up? Now, are y'all lying? Jessica, are y'all lying? Just so I'll get your name up there on the screen. Michael Emmons, what's up, man? Plano, Texas. Awesome. Stay safe, man. We're about to spike. Michael in Dallas and Houston. Houston's over 2,000, and I plan on doing it. But I'm gonna try to be a little bit better. England, whoop whoop. That's right, Claire. You know it. Everything's they got to show us up. You know, Mobile, Alabama, L.A., California. You are a hot mess, Janice. Be careful. Be careful. I keep it real. I just keep it real. This is a little bit more sciencey today. Sylvia Moxley, Bahamas. What's up? Austin, Texas, one of my favorite towns. I love Lake Travis. All right. Ooh, yes, you are. South Africa, you are in a second wave with a new South African variant. Very, very bad. Going to get bad. That's right. Cucamonga. Belize. Yeah, that's on my list to go to, Llewellyn. Belize. That's right. Hey, from UK, Adam Southall. What's up? Los Angeles, Natasha. Stay safe. You guys are hot, hot, hot. I saw Indiana's in the house. You guys are hot too, watching on YouTube there, Jenna. Quebec's in the house. Wayne, sorry. Masket or casket. All right, these are going too fast. Thank you, guys. Quick commercial break. I'm going to test myself today because it's been 2 weeks. I do a 10 to 14-day testing schedule. I have these COVID rapid tests. I put these kits together. You can't get them anywhere on the internet except for from me. If you're interested in them, you find them, just message me on my Facebook fan page, /Dr. Vong. But it's got the rapid test, 10-minute results. It comes with everything you need, gloves, Band-Aids, the solution. It's a little finger prick, like if you've ever checked yourself for blood sugars or diabetes. It gives you 10-minute results. You don't need a lab. You don't need special equipment. You just read the card. I had this card specially made for you. It comes in the kit. It tells you exactly how to do it. It's foolproof for dummies, and you get results in 10 minutes. It's on the FDA EUA list. It is 95% accurate. Now, there are different, I'll do another video on testing. So the most sensitive is the PCR. So it'll pick it up the soonest. Problem is it's not as accurate. Why not? Because they might not shove it up far enough up the nose or down the throat. They might miss it. They might be on the wrong tonsil. So it's only actually about 70% accurate, but it's much more sensitive. The next one is the antigen. The saliva one's horrible. Don't even do the saliva one. That's the one Costco is selling you. Or there's a nasal antigen, which I have a box of. Y'all want to see me? I don't want to shove this thing up my nose. I got such bad allergies. I'll pull out a bunch of boogers. It's just not gonna be pretty. But I have some antigen tests, nasal antigen, rapid tests that I'm going to check. So that's the first rapid test, but less sensitive. The Sophia is really terrible. The one I have is a cassette. So no special instrument needed. But this is an antibody test, which is highly accurate, but less sensitive because you're checking for antibodies, which takes about 5 to 7 days to form. But if you use it as part of a testing regimen, which is what I do, then you're really going to keep yourself protected. It's really, okay, listen, some people think if you test, that means you don't get the virus. That's not true. I tested yesterday. Why did I come down with coronavirus? It just tells you your status. It's like knowing whether or not you have HIV, Uncle Billy. Put a glove on it, Uncle Billy. Right? So quit giving everybody chlamydia. God damn it, Uncle Billy. It's gonna be nice. I'm gonna be nice today. So if you know, then you can protect yourself. You can skip the rally. You can skip the church service. You can stay your ass at home. Don't go out for New Year's, etc. Take yourself out of commission. If you're an employee, essential worker, you can tell your boss, you stay out. I'll test myself at the end of this video if you want to hang out for that or not. It's up to you. But you can message me. These are 5 for $500, $100 each. 5 for $500. But I will wholesale them to you. This is much cheaper than what you get. I took my daughter because her mama my ex wanted her to go to an actual lab to get the nasal antigen, the Sophia. Cost me $250. I said, hon, I've got one at home. She goes, no. You need to take her to a lab. I'm like, okay. X's. Maybe that's why we're an X. And so I took my daughter to the urgent care. They did a Sophia antigen rapid test, $250. So this is an antibody test, 95% accurate. I will wholesale it to you for $50 each, minimum order of 20. Free shipping if you order 40 or more. Free overnight shipping. I can ship out tomorrow since today is Sunday. So yes, that's $24,000. That's much cheaper. I paid one test was $250 yesterday. So that's quite a deal. So message me $24,000 for $1,000 so I know that you know the price. I have too many people like, Doc, I just want one test. I just want 2 tests. Listen, you're not going to stay safe with 1 or 2 tests. All right. So, and let's go. Let's get started. And as always, I'll edit this down and put this on my YouTube channel. All right. Hi, guys. I'm Dr. Vaughn, bariatric surgeon, author of 13 books. I'm retired, but I've been talking coronavirus because that affects my following. And today I'm going to really actually talk a little bit science for you. I know. And I want to talk about this new UK variant. And I'm actually going to explain the actual mutation. We're going to look at the protein folding. We're going to get a little sciencey. And I'm going to try to explain it to you in a way that is even Uncle Billy can understand. Okay. So the first thing I'd like to say is, and I've said this before, UK variant is everywhere. We need to assume this. I said this last week before they even announced it 2 weeks ago. And then a couple days later, they're like, oh, it's in Colorado. Next day, it's in California. Now it's in Florida. To date, it's been identified in over 30 countries. 30 countries. So the troublesome thing about the Colorado variant, the ones that were found in Colorado, was those two gentlemen had not traveled. No recent history of traveling. So that tells you it's in the community. Somebody came over from some other country and brought it. So let me ask you this question, right? New York City, which is one of the most aggressive in terms of locking down, has been locked down for over a month. Let me ask you this question. Why do their numbers keep going up? Just think about it. Even though they haven't identified the UK variant in New York City, you know it's got to be there. Why? Because where do Londoners fly into most of the time? New York, New Jersey. So it's just a matter of time. You know it's there. And from there, it's made its way to Colorado, identified in Southern California, and then Florida, right? People go back and forth from Florida to New York from the to get away from the cold all the time. So it's just a matter of time, guys. It's everywhere. You just have to assume it. Okay, which will take me to number 2. And some of this is review. You guys know this stuff, right? UK variant is I'm I probably misspelled that. There. You know, is it just me, or ever since we started having autofill, like I can't, or spell check or autocorrect, can't fucking spell anymore. So the UK variant, from what we know, it's much more transmissible. Okay. So you catch it, but it's less lethal. And I'm actually going to explain why this is today, right? I'm going to talk about why this is the case. And we have good data from the UK. The UK knows a lot about it. They've been studying it. It's actually, they first discovered it in September. Yes. Today is January 3rd. And they've known about the UK variant since September, which makes us think that the variant has been in the United States since probably mid-November. Okay. And they think that based on their collection and how they can trace it, they use these mutations to trace the virus. They think that it's about anywhere from 50 to 70% more contagious. Now, that's just a rough estimate. It's not the best way to measure transmissibility. Virologists kind of go crazy, like that's not accurate. But you know, for the common everyday person, let's just use this term that it's probably going to be 50% more transmissible. Okay, but it's not as it doesn't make you any sicker, and it doesn't prolong the course or anything like that. And there's no increase in lethality, and I'll explain why that is the case. Okay. Number 3, what we have to understand is let's get some basic definitions down. Okay, because some people don't understand this. Okay, this is super important. So hang with me. It's a little sciencey. Okay, we often misuse the terms or confuse the terms strain versus variant. What's the difference, Dr. V? Who knows? I bet, God damn it, if Uncle Billy gets this answer right, I'm going to be so mad. If Uncle Billy gets this answer right, I'm going to be so mad. So a strain is a virus that actually has a behavior that causes a disease. Okay, I'll say that again. A strain actually causes a disease. All right. So coronavirus is a family of viruses. Like we have lots of families of viruses, just like we have humans. Right. That's not a good example. That's not a good example. Maybe a dog. We have dogs, canines. That might not even be a good example because those are really breeds. Breeds are more like I don't know. You get the idea. So let me just explain. Okay, so coronavirus is a big family of viruses. Within those, there are different strains of coronavirus that cause different disease. So this particular coronavirus that causes COVID-19 is called SARS-CoV-2. SARS-CoV-2 is a strain of coronavirus that causes COVID-19. Does that make sense? So there are other coronaviruses that cause other diseases. There's MERS, Middle Eastern Respiratory Syndrome, and SARS. Okay, and those are SARS-CoV-1, for example, is a strain that causes SARS, and there's another strain that causes MERS. So a strain actually leads to a pathological disease. Okay, within that strain, there can be variants, and that comes through mutations. Okay, so this UK strain. Oh, see, I fucked up. See, this UK variant still belongs to the SARS-CoV-2 strain. Does that make sense? Okay, but this SARS-CoV-2 strain is not the same virus as the one that causes MERS or the one that causes SARS, but they all belong to this fucked up family called the coronavirus. Okay, makes sense. All right, so let's talk about this real quick. Number 4. People say it's mutated, Dr. V. Let's get this definition down. Okay, mutations versus changes. Okay, mutations happen in the I know I should have done this on my whiteboard, huh? The mutations happen in the genome. So your DNA mutates, your RNA mutates. In this case, this coronavirus is a positive single-stranded RNA, so it's an RNA virus, and so the mutations happen in the genome. Changes happen in proteins. Okay, so this particular UK variant of the SARS-CoV-2 strain had mutations that is now causing changes in its protein, spike protein. Oh, high five! Boom! Did y'all follow that? Was that easy? Right? Let's do it again. This UK variant had a mutation in its RNA genome, which causes change to its spike protein. Yeah? Make sense? So that's proper terminology, and that's how we need to really talk, because when you get your words mixed up, you cause more confusion, which makes people get alarmed and then gets people upset. Okay, it's a variant, not a second strain. Exactly right. All right, so what I want to do is share with you my screen real quick. So bear with me. So what's the coronavirus, the SARS-CoV-2 that we're really talking about? I'm going to pull up a picture. Ta-da! Man, this is a picture we've all come to really recognize, okay? So if you can see my little cursor, there are lots of surface proteins on the coronavirus. The spike protein is the most famous one because that's what we're always talking about, how it binds. If you go back to my very first video, one of my very first ones, how coronavirus kills you, then you'll see I'm talking about the spike protein and how it binds to our lung cell, the pneumocyte, and particularly the ACE2 receptor of the pneumocyte, right? That's in my one of my very first videos. But the spike protein is one of many surface proteins. You see all these, they are represented by these little circles here, these little orange, yellow, light orange, little surface proteins, okay? But the big one is this spike protein representing this red cluster. So it turns out that the spike protein is actually a trimer, which means it's one piece of messenger RNA that makes one protein, and 3 pieces of that protein actually wrap around each other and forms the spike protein. And that's the receptor. Does that make sense? Okay. Now I want to give you this, I'm Dr. V. I got to give you this really cool visual. All right. So let me know if that makes sense from you. Okay. All right. So I make, I have a young lady friend, my girlfriend, and I buy her flowers every week. And before you go, oh, Dr. Vong, I knew you were a nice guy. I actually got to the point where I had to buy her flowers twice a week. Kept putting my foot in my mouth, so I ended up having to buy flowers twice a week. Well, anyway, she is visiting family right now, but this is the last thing I bought her. I bought her these red carnations, and this is a milk glass vase I got from Indiana, and we arranged it in this really kind of cool bouquet. They've since started dying, but normally this is a full puffy ball. Okay, so what I want to do is show you, use this. This is an example of the spike protein. So I'm just going to pull out 3 of these carnations. Okay. And remember that the carnations, the spike protein, is a trimer. There's 3 of the same protein. So 1, 2, 3, and they wrap together, wrap. Okay. And they form, this is the spike protein. Does that make sense? It's 3 proteins wrapped up as one, and that's the spike protein. Okay. Now, what am I going to do? I'm going to show you real quick what that mutation is. All right. So bear with me, and we're going to come back to this. All right. Okay. That's my pretty one. So let me share my screen with you real quick. And don't laugh at this, but there's a website. I swear to God, I did not make this up. It's called JizzAid. It's called JizzAid. I know, JizzAid. So JizzAid stands for, here it is. I swear to God, I did not make it up. JizzAid, Global Initiative for the Sharing of virus databases, something like that. I can't remember the acronym, but it's a global initiative to share virus information. It's a database. Okay. So they actually broke down this new variant. Can y'all see this? JizzAid. UK reports new variant termed VUI. That's the variant under investigation 2020. That's the year 12-01. That means it was identified December 2001. That's when they actually gave it this name. Okay. So it's defined by multiple spike protein changes. There's 2 deletions in 6970, deletion 145. And then these base changes, N50, N501Y, pay attention to that. And then these other changes here. Okay. So what does this look like? Well, this is the spike protein. You guys see this? And you see there's 1, 2, 3. There's 3 of them, and they've twisted and clustered together. Does that make sense? And you're actually looking down. This graphic is, you're actually looking down at the top of the spike protein like this. And so this one is 1. Here's another one of the blue, and here's another one. Does that make sense? And you're looking down at it. The second photo is you're actually looking at the sideways at the spike protein. is this second photo. Okay. Now, back to the first photo. What they've identified is these changes from these mutations are color-coded for you in cyan, blue, and yellow or gold, okay? And here is what they are. The cyan ones are these two deletions, and then the gold one is a change, a mutation, that N501Y that I talked about, and the other blue ones that don't really matter that much. So all of these changes make up the UK variant. Does that make sense? All right. So I'm going to stop sharing real quick. Go back to you guys. Okay. So am I back? All right. So here is the lovely spike protein. I hope this is making sense. And now I'm going to take one of the ones that don't look so good to... Is this helpful? Or are you guys bored as fuck? Are you guys like, CRISPR? Okay, so here's the UK one, motherfucker. There's 3 carnations, but as you can tell, they've got these changes to the surface. You see what I'm saying? They've mutated. We got the original one, and we've got the variant one. Now, they look the same from a distance. You go, whoa, those are beautiful spike proteins you got there, Dr. V. But once you get closer, you can see that there are little changes. You see that? All right. So what I want to do is go back to my screen share. And I'll edit all this down and put it shorter on my YouTube channel for you guys. All right. So back to that graphic on Jizade. Jizade. I love it. Okay. So here's our mutant UK strain, looking down at it from the top. And now we're going to look at it from the side. Okay, so here's the spike protein from the side. And you see these green lines at the top? The green line, that's actually that represents the ACE2 receptor. If you looked at my earlier videos, how COVID kills you, how coronavirus kills you, it makes its way into your type 2 pneumocytes. Those are your lung cells. And it binds to the ACE2 receptor. That's this green thing. And it just so happens, motherfucker, if you look at the side, damn, this N501Y, this gold mutation, hits right here at that ACE2 receptor, which we think is what causes it to be more transmissible, that it is binding tighter to that ACE2. Is that cool? Who thinks that's cool? Put a 1 in the comment section if you think that's cool. Come on now, while I drink my tea. Does that help you understand it? Okay. So I have my mutated variant here. Here's my normal virus. Here's my new UK virus with, all right, there we go. We got a lot of wands. Paula, Trish, Hilarious, right? Excellent. All right. So Joan, Leslie, Christine, cool. So now you have this variant. And I'm just sitting here chilling. I'm a little pneumocyte with my receptor, right? I've got my ACE2 receptor, and this fucking variant goes, oh, I like it. It fits better. See what I'm saying? And it makes its way into your cell. Now, this is important because probably the next video I'm going to do for you guys, I'm going to talk about how vaccines work and antibodies work. And this part is important. If you can understand this concept of what I just said there, that there's this change on this virus, on the spike protein, and now it binds to the cell receptor better. If it binds better, it's less likely to be knocked off. It's more likely to be sticky. You can think of it when they bind, you can think of them as being sticky. And so it sticks to it more, and then it makes it helps the virus make its way into the cell. Yeah. Hey, give it up for my carnations, yo. Not quite as good as the sponges, but I think pretty good, right? Who remembers the sponges? The sponges video? Pretty good. All right. So now back to the I think I'm on number 4. So this spike, it's not a mutation, right? Because it's a protein. Spike protein changes, makes it stickier. Those are my terms, stickier to the ACE2 receptor. All right. Because some virologists watching this will be going like, it's not stickier. But you get the idea. It binds better, and that's what makes it more transmissible. Okay. Now, this is important. Now, why? Okay. This is one of the big takeaways. As viruses become more transmissible, I'll spell it a different way. As viruses become more, okay, sorry, that was a little long. Again, I'll edit this down and you can share it later on my YouTube channel. So as viruses become more transmissible, they become less lethal. That's just the nature of viruses, right? Because if you think about it, what needs to happen in order for a virus to become more, to spread more? Yes, more Uncle Billies, more mask holes for sure, more conspiracy theories. Yes, all that's correct. But the real answer is they can't kill their host. They have to have their host not get sick too fast. Otherwise, they stay home, hopefully. They call in sick from work. They need to not kill their host too fast. So their host will go to the bar, will go to the rally, will go to worship service, will go to the bar mitzvah. Well, see, it doesn't care what your politics are, or your race, or your religion. You know, it wants you to go mingle at the bar with your Tinder date, right? And spread. So a good example of this is Ebola. Ebola is like 40% death rate. The SARS-CoV-2 is currently 3% globally, and the US number has come down to about 3% case fatality rate. If you catch it, 3% chance you're going to die from it. It's not this 99.99, you know, the stupid shit that people are saying, 99.9999% survive. No, they don't. You're a dickhead. All right, there you go. So, so the more transmissible a virus is, the less lethal it tends to be. Now, here's the catch. The catch is this. Well, Dr. Vong, then does that mean this UK variant is not as deadly? Well, we know it's not as deadly, but the problem is we are in a wildfire. And this wildfire is spreading. And it's just getting, and you can think of this variant as like just more dry wood on this wildfire. It is just going to go and go and go. So it wouldn't be as big of a concern if we didn't have such a huge number of cases. So what you're not going to hear from the Dr. and I respect Dr. Fauci. I think he's amazing. But what you're not going to hear from mainstream media, I will tell you, this is a problem because what happens is when I say stuff like this, you guys are smart enough to know it. But when I point it out and I put the pieces together for you, you do a face slap. You go, God, fuck! The problem is we are already overwhelmed with cases. Does that make sense? So Uncle Billy's of the world are going to be like, what's the big fucking deal? It's not more lethal. It doesn't kill you. It doesn't make you any sicker. It's a sham anyway. Well, Uncle Billy, you're putting more wood on the fire. The hospital systems are already overwhelmed. right? We are already overwhelmed with cases without this variant. Now you're going to introduce this new player that has like more, that's more contagious. You're going to totally spread more cases, right? And I'll actually do the breakdown in another video for you. We know exactly what happens, okay? We've looked at this now. Of everybody who catches coronavirus, no, that's not right. You're going to have a certain number of people who catch coronavirus, right? And of all those people, there will be a certain number that have symptoms. Some people don't have symptoms. They're called asymptomatic, okay? But the ones who develop symptoms, symptomatic COVID positive people, we know, because we tracked them. The numbers are too big now. We know this with uncertainty. 80%, on average, 80% can stay out of the hospital. That means 20% will go into the hospital. Of those 20%, another 10% will, about 15% will need ICU care. We don't have enough ICU beds. So it's not like you don't go straight from I'm a positive to I'm in the ICU. If you really want to take the emotion out of it and really talk science about it, of the people who have symptoms, not of everybody who catches it, of the people who have symptoms, 80% can be managed at home. But we know that now. We didn't know that in the spring. We admitted all these people in the spring. If we admitted everybody like we did in the spring, forget it. Not possible. Even right now, we are only admitting the sickest of the sick. We're trying to send people home with oxygen. They're arranging for home oxygen. They're telling you pulse oximeters. They're calling in. They're doing virtual telemedicine checks. Either way, it's overwhelming the system because somebody's got to be on the other end of that phone call. Somebody's got to be on the other end of that telemedicine. So if you're taking a nurse or a nurse practitioner out of the circulation to do phone calls, phone triages, that's one less worker in the ICU. Does that make sense what I'm saying? So you're stretching out the resources regardless, even if you're treating them at home. So the Uncle Billies of the world are like, see, they're out of the hospital. It's all fake. Dude, it's resources, right? And I don't understand. Some dickhead was on my channel earlier saying like, the number of deaths are lower than they were last year. No, they're fucking not. Where are you getting your stupid data? We know exactly that we have 300,000 more deaths in 2020 than the year before. And in fact, it should be even higher than that because with the lockdown, you should have fewer car wrecks, fewer incidences, etc. I don't want to get into that, but you get the idea. It was really stupid. We're way beyond you and your stupid conspiracy theories, right? Yes? Can I have an amen? We are way beyond people saying, this is less deadly than the flu. Where the fuck have you been? The worst year of the flu is like 80,000 deaths. A mild flu season is 20,000 deaths. And we're at 350,000 deaths. And people are still going, it's a mild flu. The flu's worse. Well, what happened to the flu pandemic? What happened to the 2 pandemic? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You got to remember, a lot of people barely passed basic science. Barely. I mean, it's called a GED for a reason. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Most people who went back and got their GED, man, they are well-deserved. It's the people that got their high school diploma that didn't deserve it that I worry about, quite honestly. You got to remember, okay? So we're going to be overwhelmed with cases because our caseload is already so high. Now watch this. So number 7, now I love my healthcare professionals. I love my doctors, my colleagues, my nurses, all the aides, all the techs, everybody, right? Okay. Because we know this happens. And once I put it together for you guys are going to go, oh my God. Okay. Haven't you heard, like before coronavirus, you heard of people, oh, the doctor made a mistake, the nurse made a mistake, we're going to sue them. They didn't give them this medicine. They took off the wrong leg. They took out the wrong kidney. You have medical errors. We know there are medical errors built into the system. So I love my healthcare professionals, but we all know I mean, even before coronavirus, we were talking about physician burnout, surgeon burnout, ER doctor burnout. So now you add on top of that the coronavirus, you got with case overload comes healthcare fatigue, which will come worse death rate and worse morbidity and mortality. Now sometimes you make a mistake and it doesn't kill a patient, but it causes damage. Now we're all going to forgive you because this is a crazy ass time period. And we know you don't mean to make errors, but as resources go down. Now listen, I'll give you a good example. What's happening in LA? They're out of oxygen, Dr. Vong, they're out of oxygen. No, they're not out of oxygen. They just have so many patients on oxygen in the hospital that the air pressure is too low to give it to them at a rate that they need it. Does that make sense? You can think of this as like water pipes in your house. You always have like that one shower, that one sink that's furthest away from the hot water tank. And it takes longest. There's very shitty water pressure. It doesn't flow very hard. It takes forever to get hot. That's the same thing that's happening in these LA hospitals. It's not that they're out of oxygen. It's that there are so many patients on oxygen, the flow can't get to them at the level they need it. And so that's nobody's fault. Nobody made a mistake. There was no medical error. But patients are going to be gasping for air. Patients are going to get more and more and more hypoxemic. And what are you going to do? Are you going to like shut off oxygen to Mary and so you can open it to Janine? Like what? Like this is horrible, right? So probably one of the worst things that this variant can do through number of cases, it's that word, and they keep avoiding this word. And I'm going to say it so that it's just incredibly heartbreaking. This increased number of cases, it's going to lead to rationing of medical resources. And you are already seeing this happen, guys. What does rationing of resources mean? I will make it down to the point that Uncle Billy can understand. This means you don't feel good for any reason. You cannot get medical help. That's what that means. All right? It means you break a leg. You had to go do the icky shuffle, the achy breaky heart dance on New Year's Eve because you're such a badass. You fell off the dance floor because you were drunk and you broke your leg. Well, guess what? They are going to splint you and they're going to send you home. I can't get my pain pills. That's right. Because the pharmacies are all overrun. I can't get in to see my doctor. I need a cast. I need this. Dude, that's what that means. Rationing of medical resources. That's the drunk drivers. You know, on top of that, you got car wrecks, you got heart attacks, you got cancer diagnoses, right? How long can you put off a surgery? There are people waiting for cancer surgeries because either there's no resources, like they don't have any beds, but more often than not, there are insurance companies who are not approving surgeries during this time period because they don't know what resources will be available financially speaking. A lot of hospital systems have shut down elective surgeries. And by elective surgeries, I don't mean plastic surgery, yo. I mean non-emergency surgery that you're not going to die. This means breast cancer surgeries. This means colon mass surgeries. This means serious fucking surgeries. There are people with fractured necks who are just going to have to wait in their neck braces because they can't get a neck fusion right now because they're not going to die from it. But they're walking around with this neck brace that they have to sleep in. They can't change. At any time, something could happen. They could and go paralyzed. What the fuck? That's what rationing of medical resources mean, Uncle Billy. It doesn't mean you don't get your fucking Viagra on time. You understand what I'm saying? Teeth cleaning. Oh, should I get my teeth cleaning? I'm so pissed off. I can't go again and get my teeth cleaned. What the fuck is wrong with you? That is so July 2020. That was the bitching you could have done back in July. Now, people are dying. Okay? Now, let's take it real. Let's go real. Who wants real? Real is you have coronavirus. You can't breathe. You have your pulse oximeter. It's going down. Yesterday it was 93. You woke up today, it's 92. Lunchtime, it's 90. You saw the Dr. V video. He says you got to go to the doctor, ER, if your pulse ox is down to 90. Now you've been waiting in the waiting room for 89. Rationing of care means this. It says, Uncle Billy, Aunt Sally, you've got coronavirus and your x-rays look bad and your oxygen saturations are 88, but we don't have any beds in the ICU. We have one ventilator left, and we've decided that if you are older than 65, I'm making this up, no one panic. This is what rationing of medical resources means. Don't panic, I'm making this up. But we're about to come to this. We've decided that if you're over 80, we're not going to intubate you. They did this in Italy, guys. Dr. V is not fear-mongering. I'm not exaggerating. Back in April, Italy decided that if you were over 80, you were under no circumstances going to be intubated. They did not have enough ventilators. So we're going to get to the point where we say we don't have enough ventilators. So over 80, over 65, and then we're going to keep dropping the numbers. It's rationing. This is what happens in an emergency, a mass casualty. We are in a mass casualty. Let me do that number 9, okay? We are in a mass casualty scenario. We are trained for things like this, okay? Like if you live near a plant or oil refinery or nuclear power plant, your doctors are trained under a mass casualty scenario. We just had one in Nashville where that bomber blew up his RV. Luckily, no one was hurt. Where you plan and prepare and train for if you have a sudden onrush of patients. Well, this sudden onrush of patients has been fucking happening since October. And they got worse since November. Okay? And people are still fucking traveling and still went out for New Year's Eve. Even though we knew that surge that happened in December was fucking due to Thanksgiving. Now we had to travel for Christmas. You guys had to go out to fucking New Year's. And now you're about to drag your sorry asses home this fucking weekend. This weekend right now, beginning of January, is one of the highest traveled weekends. Because people are going back from their holidays. What the fuck's wrong with you? Okay, we are in a mass casualty scenario. So when you're a surgeon, I'm a surgeon, you're trained under mass casualty. One of the first things you do, you have a pointer. You have a lead person who goes through the field and says, dead, dead, dead. You tag them all. Red, 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 red. No, 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 no. We don't waste time on these people. They're dead. Gone, gone, gone. Yellow, yellow, yellow. Green, 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 green. Okay, green means you don't need to see them right now. Yellow is they need attention right now. We can still save them. Mass casualty scenarios, motherfucker. I'm so pissed. We're at that point now, and your leaders aren't telling you, but you're about to go to a hospital, and you're going to be told, sorry, Mary, sorry, Billy, you're over 80. We have decided we are not admitting anyone over 80. I'm making up that number right now, but it's coming. I'm telling you, it's coming. We're going to send you home with some oxygen. Here's a pulse oximeter. Do your best. Good luck. Here's some vitamin D pills. Do your best. We are getting there, guys. That's what it means. Do you understand? We're going to start rationing our medical resources. And this, we haven't even seen the fucking Christmas surge. These numbers that you guys have been bragging about for the last 4 or 5 days is due to the fact that the centers closed down so People can have one last fucking Christmas holiday with their loved ones and New Year's. Time off. Give them a little break. These testing centers. These numbers are about to go through the roof. January 2nd. U.S. had 291,000 cases. 291,000 cases. Oh, God. We were so nervous we were going to pass 100,000. In July, we were shaking our boots that we passed 70,000. Well, fucking show them. We haven't even hit the Christmas surge. Christmas surge is coming next week, motherfuckers. Now, today's number, when you wake up tomorrow, Dr. Vaughn was fear-mongering. The numbers tomorrow are going to be lower. They're historically lower on Sunday because of reporting. But watch, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we're going to be over 300,000 cases. New cases on top of the fucking 290,000 we just had yesterday. New cases, new cases, new cases. Guys, you're going to overwhelm the system. We're going to have 400,000 people dead by the time, January, the new the new inauguration. Who even fuck cares at this point? Doesn't even matter. It's non-political. Does this make sense to you? April Fools. April 1st, we're going to hit 500,000 probably. Before all this shit is said and done, 700,000 Americans will die. That means what? Who can do the math? 1 in 488 Americans will have died from coronavirus. 1 in 500, not catch it, die from it. Come on. God bless it. We're at 1 in 1,000. 350,000 Americans have died. That's 1 in 1,000 Americans have died. By the time this is all said and done, if we're lucky, 700,000 deaths means 1 in 500 Americans will have died. The fuck is wrong with us? And it's going to be due to shit like this. We are way past conspiracy. We're way past, like, you're just a fearmonger. We're way past, this is the flu. This is just a bad flu. Flu's worse. But what about heart attacks? What about, car wrecks? Like, go the fuck back to your rock. This is ridiculous. And wait till it happens to you. It happened to one of my very good friends. His stepdad, who's basically his dad, who has a history of a heart bypass, started having chest pains, started popping his nitroglycerin. They call 911. The EMTs come there, and they check him over, and they said, we think you're having a heart attack. We think you're having an acute MI. He's in LA, Southern California. And he's like, take me to the hospital. And the EMT said, we can't take you to the hospital. There are no beds in the hospital. There are no room. We can't take you anywhere. There are no open beds. They left him at home with a history of a heart bypass, with acute chest pain, to call his doctor. His cardiologist is on call. His cardiologist was on vacation. This was last week. Cardiologist was on vacation. The covering but Dr. Vaughn, there's a covering doctor. The covering cardiologist is not seeing patients because he's scared of getting COVID because he's older. He's scared of getting COVID. So now my friend's dad runs out of nitroglycerin. He needs a refill. The covering cardiologist won't call in a refill because it's too liable if he calls in a prescription to a patient he's never seen who was just diagnosed with a probable acute MI the day before. No doctor in his right mind would call in a prescription in that scenario, and you can't blame him. That is rationing of care right there, folks. And it's about to happen to you. And if it doesn't happen to you, it's going to happen to your loved one, your mom, your dad. God damn it. You know what I'm saying? That's where we're at. And it's going to get worse. Guys, you got to listen to me. We haven't even hit the December Christmas wave. We're going to get a New Year surge on top of that. The end of January is going to make this look like child's play. LA is going to surpass 20,000 cases, even with a fucking shutdown. New York City is going to fly past 10,000 cases once this variant goes crazy. I'm telling y'all, New York has more set a record for a daily case number more than what they had in April. This is just the start. It's not the beginning of the end. We are in the middle of the dark winter. You gotta like fucking believe me, man. Do not travel. Do not gather, even with family members. If they do not live underneath your roof, do not see them. If you are an essential worker, God bless you. It's time to glove up, double mask, face shield. You got to go back to what you were doing before when this first started. You come home, you take off your clothes, you hit the shower, you drop your clothes into the laundry. You change in the garage. You don't walk into your house. We have to go back to all that again. It's a couple new things. You don't have to worry about surfaces. Surfaces are not as bad. It is close quarters, indoors, bad circulation, less than 6 feet, no masks. Don't worry about Lysoling everything. You wipe shit down, but don't worry about it. Cash is not the problem. Okay? This is frustrating. I was going to test myself. Now I don't fucking know. Should I test myself? This shit's going to get so bad, guys. I'm telling you. Man. Stay safe. Okay? Be good. You know what? I'm going to come back on later. No, you know what? I'm going to test myself right now. Test myself. I test myself every 10 to 14 days with my rapid test. Hey, listen, let me wrap it up. Guys, listen. Blessings, prayers and blessings to our frontline workers, our nurses, our doctors, our healthcare workers, our techs, labbies, even the guys and gals who greet you when you walk in the hospital, even the insurance form, collectors, everybody in the front line. Blessings to y'all. Stay safe. But I want to remind everybody who's watching this, please remember, they are not the front line. They are the back line. They are our safety nets. They are there to take care of us when we are sick, when we need them, right? They're the back line. They're the safety net. If that's true, then Dr. Vong, who is the front line? The front line, as I've been saying the whole time since July, is us. We are the front line. What happens with this pandemic depends on how we behave, okay? What we do. What happens with this virus, the number of deaths, what happens to your mother, your grandmother, your grandfather, depends on how we behave. I do not want to be friends with the dickhead who thinks, yeah, but most deaths are from nursing homes. As if that is any fucking better. As if because they are older, their life is worth less. That's fucking someone's grandmother and grandfather. That could be yours. The humanity is what we've lost. Our enemies out there, our political enemies, are laughing at us because they didn't need to build a nuclear bomb. They didn't need fancy artillery and tanks. They needed social media and false conspiracy theories and fake bot accounts. They didn't even need to engineer a virus, although I think it probably was. But that's a whole different story. They just needed to spread misinformation and have poor leadership. And they brought this country down to its knees because we've lost our humanity. Does that make sense what I'm saying? So prayers and blessings to all of our frontline workers, yes, including EMT, including paramedics, including firefighters, first responders, everybody, okay? We are way past righteous indignation, guys. I get it. Black Lives Matter. I'm all for it. I'm all about celebrating. Dude, this is just not the time. This is not the time to go riot. This is not the time to protest, even if you're peacefully protesting. This is not the time to be a Proud Boy. This is not the time to carry arms. This is not the time to gather, to celebrate, to flip off the middle finger. This is not it, guys. All right? As always, I will edit this down and put it up on my YouTube channel. I'm going to test myself real quick with my rapid test. This is an antibody test. It's 95% accurate. It's not quite as sensitive as a PCR, but overall, it's more accurate if you're able, once you form the bodies. I put these kits together. You can find rapid tests online, but you're going to get it this big box. It won't have everything you need. I put these kits together. So if you order from me, you'll get this. And I'm going to test myself. We need to change our testing strategy. We are in this situation partly because our testing strategy has been wrong. People have gone to test when they have symptoms. And I've told you in my last video, once you have symptoms, assume you're positive. Coronavirus is out there. It's the horse now. It's not the zebra. Back in April, it was the zebra. If you coughed and ached, you would probably had allergies. Now you have coronavirus, okay? And I don't care what the test tells you. Even if the test is negative, you still have coronavirus. In January 2021, if you have a runny nose, a cough, body aches, fever, especially if you have loss of smell or taste, you have coronavirus. I am telling you, you've got SARS-CoV-2, okay? Because it's everywhere. That's why the flu numbers are down. That's why the cold numbers is down, because coronavirus is the dominant virus out there, okay? So if you order one of these from me, and you can order from me below on my Facebook page, just message me, facebook.com/Dr. Vong. I'm going to test myself. We need to do our testing strategy differently. I test myself every 10 to 14 days, right? You'll get this kit. It comes with a pair of gloves in it. If you want to use it, you can. Here's the test. It's an antibody rapid test. It's on the FDA Emergency Use Act. So it's FDA. It's not FDA approved. There's no test that's FDA approved. It's on the Emergency Use Act. All right. You don't need any special equipment. It's like a pregnancy test, except don't be pissing on my test. It's a blood. It's a pinprick. You prick your finger with it, and you read the results in 10 minutes, just like a pregnancy test. You don't need to send it to a lab. You don't need a nurse. You don't need anything like that. Okay. I had this kit made for you, this flyer, so it tells you exactly where to put everything. It tells you how to read the card, the results, and everything like that. So that comes with that. It also has a Band-Aid, an alcohol swab. This is the buffer solution in here, and the thing you use to prick your fingers. It's called a lancet. So come on down here with me real quick, like that. Okay. So first thing I do is I open up my Band-Aid. You don't even need it, but in case you want to show your wife that you're a big boy, you can get your Band-Aid ready, get my alcohol swab ready. Now, the buffer is right here. It's not much. It's just this bottom part. Sometimes if it's been like this or on side, you want to kind of thump it down, okay? Right? Now, let's open the test. This is a rapid test for COVID. It's specific for SARS-CoV-2. So it won't pick up other stuff, right? And I don't know if you can tell at the very top, sometimes there it says COVID-19. So this is called lateral flow assay. There's a control line there that's blue. It will turn pink. And then it checks for antibody IgG as well as IgM. IgM. This is where you put the blood. This is where you put the buffer. So I'll put this down here. And inside of here, there's also a turkey baster. It's called a pipette, but it's a turkey baster. So the first thing you want to do is tap this down, right? Tap that down, pop it open, and squeeze your little turkey baster. Here, squeeze it. You see it? I'm squeezing it. Hold it down. Suck up all this fluid. Try not to make too many bubbles, but there it is right there. Hey, look, it looks like a nice cold beer, right? A little foamy at the top. Love it, okay? I'm just going to set this down on the side. Now, I test my non-dominant hand. I'm left-handed. That's my left hand. So I'll test my right hand. And I'll just use this finger right here. I could use this middle finger, Uncle Billy, but actually I will. Got me going. Now, if you have a thick callus or something, don't hit your callus. You want to go on the side if you have a callus. If you're a musician, play the guitar, if you're a farmer, mechanic, and you have real thick calluses, go on the side. But I don't. So this is the little pinprick, okay? This is called a lancet. And you're going to open it up. And the blade is in here. You see that? And all you do is just push down, put it on your skin and push down. Ready? It's going to be a little prick. 1, 2, 3. Nothing bad. See, that's it. That's all I did was a boop, push down. And now you see the blood. I just milk my finger. Ooh, I'm a big bleeder today. And if the blood's not coming down, you can hold your finger below your waist. But that's a nice big droplet. I'm going to try to do this so y'all can see. I'm going to try to drop my finger right in the middle of the well. Let's see how I do. I'm getting better at this. Oh, look at that. No smear at all. Dr. V, boom. Nothing but net, baby. Now see, just wipe this off with alcohol and look at that. It's already stopped bleeding. I don't need a Band-Aid or anything, but I'm going to put a little Band-Aid because I want to show my girl. I want to show my girl later I'm tough. I'm tough. I'm tough enough, okay? Now, you have your little turkey baster, okay? And you've got your test. You're going to put the buffer solution down here, okay? So, and you're going to use most of this. I say 2 drops, but people are putting too small of a drop. So I really want you to use almost all of this buffer now, okay? Now, that's all in there. And if I had blood on the side, I would put some buffer there to try to tap the blood down. But that's going to make its way up. Now, what you're going to see right here, do y'all see this? It's going to, you're going to see here in a second. This is going to go up. Yeah. Uh-oh. This is called lateral flow. There it goes. Okay. You see the purple making its way up? This is called the lateral flow assay. And what it's doing is it's bringing up these gold particles. And right where the G and the M are, there's a line of antibodies, rabbit antibodies, that are specific for the SARS-CoV-2. And if they turn pink, we know I'm positive. But the first thing that has to turn pink is that blue line. That blue line is called, is this interesting? That blue line is called the control line, okay? So watch it. It's going to turn red. It's going to turn pink here. If it turns pink, that means we have a valid test, okay? I'll take your questions here because I have 10 minutes. This will give you results in 10 minutes, okay? And I'll take your questions, so don't go anywhere. Whoa, you see that blue going away? It's going up, and that line's turning pink, okay? So what I'm going to do, I probably put a little too much buffer on there, but that's all right. Okay, so I'm going to start the clock. It's 1:07, all right? And there we go. In 17 after, we'll check it out. We'll see if I'm positive or not. So get your questions ready. I'll give you questions here in 1 minute. So I put these kits together. You can see right behind me. I mail it to you in the security taped FedEx. I can overnight them to you. These are all the boxes. It's literally me putting all this stuff together. No one else does it. You can't get it on the internet, right? So the best way if you want to order is go to facebook.com/Dr. Vong and message me /Dr. Vong. And what you want to say is 20 for $1,000. I had a rapid test done yesterday on my daughter. Her mom, my ex, wanted her to be tested in a lab. Don't ask me why. And so I took her, and the charge was $250 for a nasal antigen rapid test. $250 for a Sophia test. So I was like, damn. Now that was a nasal antigen test. I have some nasal antigen tests that I'm probably going to sell for $100. But these antibody tests, you can get them from me. These kits, just like this. I will mail it to you looking like this. 5 for $500. That's $100 each. Or I can wholesale them to you this weekend. If you message me this weekend, $50 each. $50 each, minimum order of 20. So that's $1,000 minimum order of 20. And I have a special running. Orders of 40 or more, you get free overnight shipping. Free overnight shipping. Okay. And I can ship out tomorrow. You'll get them the next day. In fact, if you've ordered from me before, just put a comment. It really is me. I really message you. I give you tracking. I use FedEx, so you get it reliably. If you take a test and you have a question about it, you're like, Dr. Vong, is this a positive result? Don't comment if I told you, if I responded and told you that. Okay. I have shipped to the UK before, for sure. Margaret Townsend. I received them very fast. Ann Woods just ordered for me. I ordered. Okay. His price is very reasonable. Thank you very much. I got to put some people in timeout here real quick, like that person. Timeout. Okay. The expiration dates on the test is March or April, depending on which kit you get. March or April 2022. Can't order 3. Minimum order is 5 for 500, but I would get the 20 for 1,000. Super fast. All right. Ivermectin. I know you guys want to hear a lot about ivermectin. I wouldn't believe all the ivermectin hype. Okay. Hawaii takes 2 days to ship. What's up, Marcy? How's it going? Hold on. Their shipping results, ship back test for 118 bucks. He's offering a fucking steal. Thank you, Steven. Appreciate that. Yin Yang, Dr. V sold me these tests and answered your question immediately. Yeah, so after this, I'll be on doing it immediately. Okay, here we go. Question. Katie Rose, is grocery shopping 100% safe with surgical mask only? There's nothing 100% safe, okay, first of all. There's nothing 100% safe. When I go grocery shopping now, I'm in Houston. Our number is not super high, although yesterday we passed 2,000 cases. So I do a lot of shopping online, but some things I like to shop in person, like my meats or whatever, right? Or fresh fish, right? I will wear a mask and a face shield. So minimum mask and face shield. I don't get up next to anybody. I keep my 6 feet distance. I don't go down crowded aisles. I get in and out. I don't rummage through the avocado, those fucking avocados. You gotta like squeeze and touch every fucking avocado. No, I really look at one, like I think that's a pretty good one and take my chances. Okay. And then yes, so hold on, sorry. Marie Leberton. Dr. Vog's 100% answered all my questions. Let me know when he received my payment as soon as he ships. He sent me a picture of the FedEx label. Absolutely. Thank you, Marie. Yeah, so it'll last you the whole time, and you'll need 20 tests this whole time. Remember, 20 tests, you'll need them all, and you need to be, listen to me, motherfucker, you need to be wearing a mask all the way until the end of 2021. 2021. By that, why, Dr. Vog, we have vaccines? Because we don't know the long-term benefits of the vaccinations. We don't know if they're going to keep spreads down. You're still going to be contagious. You can still spread that virus while you're having the vaccine. The whole point of the vaccination is to get you over the illness faster and have less disease, okay? We are way beyond supplements and a special diet, Joy Hines. That was way back in like June, July. You got to like act like everyone's positive. Okay. I've had COVID. Do I need to do extremely? Yes, you do, Linda. We are seeing people lose their antibodies. In fact, one of the best things to do with my test is I've been tracking this to watch my neighbor's antibodies go away. And you can see it getting lighter and lighter and lighter. Okay. Now, that's not the end of the story. That's only partially part of the story. Okay. So some people will go, well, if you're losing antibodies, why do you need a vaccine? Well, I can cover that as another topic, but most vaccinations induces a much larger immune response that's much longer lasting than if you just caught it, right? So you don't know if you still have antibodies, and you also don't know if you'll catch a new variant of the antibody of the virus that's stickier and more transmissible. Okay, so even if you've had COVID, you need to take precautions. For sure. Take the stupid Band-Aid off. All right. Can you tell us about the South Africa strain? Is it here? I would bet that it's here. I don't know that much about it. 4th of July, brother. It'll be settling down. The beginning of the end is April 1st. We start coming out of hibernation, 4th of July. Relatively normal by Labor Day, but you still have to wear your mask all the way up through the end of the year. Okay. If you want some rapid tests, message me, facebook.com/Dr. Vong, 20 for $1,000. So I know that it's $1,000. Arnold, watching on YouTube, did you already read into Oxford vaccine? And yeah. So I actually did a video on the Oxford vaccine where I think the Oxford vaccine will actually be the main vaccine that gets this under control. It's an older technology. It uses adenovirus to deliver it, so it doesn't have to be stored at cold temperature, and it's fucking cheap. It's $3 a vaccine. Yes, you can absolutely catch it twice. We've actually also have death from that. Also, 2 minutes, I'll give you my results. Dr. V packages the set and double counts them before putting them in. I absolutely do. They are, thanks for reminding me. I packed them in these black packages. They are taped tight. So if this is open, you know it's tampered with. They're double counted. So I have two, it's usually Erica and her mom. They'll double count. And then we put them into these FedEx boxes, security tape them, and then I send them overnight. All right. It's IgG and IgM. IgG and IgM. So it shows if you have past infection as well as a current infection, but it's not a one test deal. You want to follow your results, and I wouldn't count on any one test. You need to have both a nasal antigen PCR followed by an antibody test to see what happens. Okay, which vaccine has less side effects? Pfizer, Moderna, both are pretty well tolerated. That's really, I wouldn't worry too much about that. What do you think about kids going back to school? My kids are online. You need to do what's right for you. Kids under 10 aren't really the problem. Kids between 10 to 22 are the super spreaders. All right. I think produce is fine. I think takeout is fine. It's not really on surfaces. It's really from being close to people, not wearing masks, gathering indoors, etc. All right. If you, you need a word. Please word your questions better. Do you believe this is human engineered? It's probably been tinkered with. I don't know for sure. What are your thoughts on humidity levels, air circulation? Absolutely, we know air circulation affects it. Travel, medical treatment advice on essential travel. You got to do the same thing, man. Everything that is positive. Nope, this is a at-home test. You do not need to report if you're positive with this. I recommend you tell your worker, your boss, anyone you've exposed yourself to. I would recommend you tell it. But this is a home test. It's like a pregnancy test. What do you do if you have a pregnancy test if it's negative? Woo! Or you cry. You might be wanting to get. You might be sad. But what do you do if it's positive? You got to call the doctor. So if this is positive, you got to call your doctor. Right? And then you decide if you want to tell your boss, do the right fucking thing, quarantine, isolate, okay? But you need to call your doctor if that comes out quick. All right, let's see some questions. So if you test positive, you call your doctor way past vitamin D and vitamin C. But I will tell you, vitamin D has good prospective studies that makes a difference. I think if you are not supplementing with vitamin D, that's probably not a bad idea, especially if your levels are low. If your levels are normal, you don't need to supplement. That amount is 4,000 to 5,000 IUs a day of vitamin D. Vitamin C, not good data on that at all. Long haulers, God bless them. It's going to be terrible. There's no literature that comes with my test kits. I give you this. And if you want, I can send you to the FDA website that talks about it. If you want to purchase my kits, message me on facebook.com/Dr. Vong. It says send a message, send me a message. $20 for $1,000, so I know you know the price, okay? I don't do any daily, I do green smoothies pretty much. Don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what Dr. Fauci does or doesn't do. This test is 95% accurate. Oh, I got to give you my results. Drum roll! What is Dr. V's current status? Okay, remember what we're looking for. Okay, negative test. The only line you see positive is the pink control line. You can get IgM that shows active infection. It can be a bright red or light red. IgG shows past infection. You can have both. If you have both, that means either you had it in the past and you caught it again, or you had it and now you're starting to form IgGs and your IgM is going away, which is the most likely scenario. So I test multiple times, and I tell people who test positive to retest themselves to see what's happening with their current infection. So drum roll, Dr. V is boom, still negative, motherfucker. Can't get rid of me yet. Okay, so just the control line. So I'm still negative. I spent a week with my daughter. We didn't do much. Literally, we walked around the block, stayed in the garden. We cooked. Even when I went grocery shopping, I went by myself. I left her at home. She's 14. I tested her both with the Sophia antigen, and then I did this blood test at home, and I just tested myself. I test myself with my rapid test kits every 10 to 14 days. I test my family. I used to test anyone who came to see me. Nobody's coming to see me. I don't even see my neighbor, Tom. I don't see anybody anymore. I don't hang out with anybody anymore. Not till this shit's over with. I promise you, nobody's coming in anymore, okay? That's what you have to do. It's 95% accurate for SARS-CoV-2 antibodies. Absolutely right. All right. Thoughts on coronavirus and viral persistence. I'm not sure what you mean about persistence. I would do my green smoothies now. You mean take them, or you want me to demonstrate a green smoothie? I don't know. Guys, like, don't worry so much about, thanks, John, about supplements right now, guys. We are way past that. It will take you months. Listen to me. If you started taking supplements today, it will take you months before you have any sort of results or benefits from it, guys. Your immune system just does not work that way. You should have been keeping your blood sugars under control the whole fucking time, Uncle Billy. You know, it's just like you should have been, you know, and the BMI is not even that fucking bad. You know, BMI over 35. That's 60 pounds overweight. You're considered high risk for this. That's so many people, guys, right? So thank you guys very much. I've been going for a long time. I'm actually going to go heat up some leftover, and I'm going to watch my Cowboys kick some ass. Just kidding. I don't really follow football anymore. But I know if the Cowboys win, I grew up a Cowboys fan. If they win and the Washington football team loses tonight, formerly Washington Redskins, lose tonight, and my Cowboys make playoffs as a 6-10 team. Way to go, Cowboys. Okay. Hey, guys, stay safe. Be careful. I'll come back. Oh, I'm going to come. I'll be on later tonight with a cooking demonstration. We've launched my food challenge, Food 2.5. You can check that out. Join2.5.com. Join2.5.com. Cool. All right. Be good. And as always, I'll edit this down and just put up the edited version up on my YouTube channel. Thank you, guys. Bye.